Eating at my desk today, and for lunch we have eggplant with rice and some salad. So the eggplant is actually from my garden, which makes me super happy, and also the lettuce actually is from the garden.
So another area where I realized that I have sugar in my life was when I was preparing the dressing for the salad today, because normally I would put honey in my dressing, and quite a bit of it. I love honey mustard dressing, so I had to make a slightly different dressing today, which is based more on garlic. But anyway, so that was another area where I hadn't even thought that sugar had crept in.
Yes, I know I look ridiculous. It's just the end of the day and I felt my skin needed a bit of brightening up, so I put on this activated detox mask. So just try and ignore it. But I'm sitting here sipping my jasmine tea, which is very nice. Anyway, the reason I wanted to talk to you right now is because I learned something very cool today. I had no idea about this, and that is about sugar and the immune system. Did you know, I clearly didn't, that vitamin C and glucose have a very similar structure? So for instance, in animals, mammals that can produce their own vitamin C, we can't, we have to get it from the outside. But in mammals who can, and that's the majority of mammals, they produce vitamin C from glucose. So that's how similar the molecules are. But anyway, they both need insulin to carry them across into the cell, from the blood into the cell. Now we all have heard of insulin and glucose, but I didn't know about the vitamin C. So it turns out that there are lots of insulin receptors on your cells, but they have a much greater affinity to glucose, so blood sugar, right? So that means that if your blood sugar is elevated, then more of that glucose will go into the cell rather than the vitamin C. So you're missing out on the vitamin C. Now, immune cells have about 20 times more vitamin C in them than just your regular normal cells, because vitamin C is so fundamental to their function. In fact, they have 50 times more insulin receptors on their outside membrane. So once again, if your blood sugar is very high, then the glucose is going to go into the cell more likely than the vitamin C. So you'll be low in vitamin C. And what happens is that you're going to compromise your immune system, because your immune system cannot work properly without vitamin C. That means, of course, that you're more likely to get ill from viruses, bacteria, fungi, whatever it may be, and you're more likely to stay ill, to have chronic infections if your blood sugar is high. Now, that makes me think of, when I was a kid in a boarding school in Sweden. If we were home because maybe we had a cold, then the house mother, as we called her, would give us ice cream, and we loved it. And yes, it was very sweet of her. But now thinking back on it, I realized, well, actually, that was probably one of the worst things she could have done, because as kids, it would compromise our immune system and we would be ill for much longer. And that's another thing, that when you eat sugar, so your immune system, your function is lowered. Within the first hour, this happens, and the effect lasts for 5 hours. Now, for most of us, we don't just have sugar like once a day. It kind of creeps in throughout the day. So we are continuously compromising our immune systems throughout the day. Even if we have many other healthy habits, if sugar creeps in there, your immune system is compromised. And I just realized actually just now that, I took my youngest, Harley, to the hospital because we suspected malaria. And we had to take blood. They needed to do the whole blood test to check for the malaria and a full blood count and everything. Anyway, she cried and cried when they put the needle in. It was very painful for her. And as a treat, she got a sugary snack afterwards. And of course, that's one of the worst things I could have done, So it's really made me think. Fruit juices to compare. So this is fruity, another Zambian fruit juice. This actually has added sugar to it, so it is more sweet. And if you drink this, okay, it's 250 mils, that is 8 teaspoons of sugar in there. I got this one, Fruticana, And this one, the text was so tiny. Even with a magnifying glass, I could hardly read it. So I had to take like a photo and then enlarge the photo to get the nutritional information here. But this one, let's see here, has 13 teaspoons of sugar if you drink that whole thing. Obviously, this is a bigger bottle, so that's part of the reason. But both of these, just like the other fruit juice, per 100 mils, have more sugar than Coca-Cola. Once again, I just find that incredible. Hey, day 4, it's 3:38 in the afternoon and I'm feeling so tired. And I'm not sure why, I keep yawning. Oh my gosh, sorry. Anyway, I've eaten well today. I had my bulletproof coffee in the morning, and then I had a big bowl of oatmeal. I had a vegan protein shake with chia seeds with me as a snack. For lunch I had like an omelette, quite plain with a bit of onion, and then a big salad with that. And I had another coffee. That's it, you know, so all good food. So I'm not sure where this tiredness is coming from, but it has taken so much effort not to pull over and go into a shop and buy like, I don't know, anything to just give me a little energy boost. But I'm hanging on. So not sure. I was thinking maybe because I've been sitting at our new offices for quite a while and they're using grinders and making a lot of noise. Maybe that has been stressing my body, you know, and tiring me out without me really realizing it. I don't know. But today, this afternoon, not feeling great and really craving something. If not something sweet, definitely refined carb or something, you know, something that I relate with. Quick energy, quick sugar, you know. Just got home. I'm still really feeling quite beat. My head's clear. I'm just feeling a little bit tired and craving something, hey? Something sweet preferably. But this will be my go-to, almond butter. I'm gonna have a big spoonful. Oh yeah. In fact, that was so good. I'm gonna have another one. So just to be clear, this wasn't hunger. I'm not hungry. This was just a little craving, and somehow the almond butter, although it's just made from pure almonds, I mean there's nothing else in there, it has a bit of a sweetness to it, and it satisfied me. So awesome. Hey guys, day 5, and it's been the toughest day out of all the days. I have really struggled today. I mean, I think the first few days I was on a high because it was new and I wanted to do it and all good, you know, and today I kind of just crashed. I have been irritable the whole day, and it's horrible because I'm aware of it. And in the middle of the day, I had to kind of say to myself, Kim, enough, you know, like snap out of it. And I try to just like ground myself and feel grateful for everything in my life. But still, that irritability was there. I really don't like it. And I've been craving sweet things and certainly carbohydrate-rich things, simple carbs. I would have literally died for like a muffin today when I was out and about at East Park, but I didn't have it. Yeah, so it's been a really, really tough day. Part of me thinks perhaps it's premenstrual, so PMS, and perhaps also the fact that what I've noticed is that as I've taken away all the sugar, I've become extremely mindful of also all the simple carbohydrates that are in my diet. And therefore I have kind of removed them as well. So I haven't had any pasta, I haven't had any crackers, I haven't had, you know, like I said, the rusks. Okay, they had a little sugar in them, that was the main reason. But still, that's like a full-on carb, you know? So I've taken out all of that. I haven't had any toast, bread, nothing like that. So I think I'm going through a bit of a withdrawal of these simple carbohydrates. So it's not just the sugar, it's all these other simple refined carbohydrates. And of course, most of what I've removed, it's wheat-based. So you got the gluten in there as well. And gluten and sugar are quite potent together when it comes to like having that addictive response. So I think that
has played a huge part as well. And it's just kind of reinforced to me how important it is for me to maybe include that in this challenge for myself. So it's not just sugar anymore. I'm going to avoid all simple carbs made from wheat as well. So I'm still going to have rice, for instance, because I eat quite a lot of rice and vegetables. So I'm still going to have that. But yeah, no bread, no pasta, no pies, no crackers, none of that. So this is going to be tougher than I originally thought, but this is going to be good. So I might as well also mention that yesterday I had a bit of a very small informal dinner party, but the dessert was an apple crumble, and I did not tuck into this. I mean, this is completely strictly off limits, and I did not tuck in. So while everyone was eating the apple crumble, I had my trusted almond butter, which actually was fine. I managed it, no problem. And the funny thing was that I didn't actually crave the apple crumble. I found it quite easy to just say, no, I don't eat this right now. So that was really good. Yeah, so it's a Friday, end of the week, my first week. Yay! Anyway, and I would really love to sit down with like a glass of wine now, or a cup of tea with some nice treat, but that's not gonna happen. So I'm in the kitchen and I'm going to make a nice drink just to give my body some good nutrition. So I'm just gonna make this green drink, and I've got some lovely spinach from my garden, which was just picked 5 minutes ago. How lucky am I? I'm just removing the stalks because they're a bit bitter sometimes. I'm gonna put some pineapple in there. Cut it again. And I'm gonna put some cucumber. And some lemon. I find the lemon just makes it so nice and fresh, and you don't taste the greens as much with the lemon. There. And then some water. Right, green juice, let's make some. Blend. Right, let's taste how this looks. Taste. That is really nice. I'm gonna pour myself a glass of this immediately. And this is just so packed with minerals and nutrients, super alkalizing. This will really help my brain and also help stabilize my blood sugar. So I don't really drink soft drinks. So sometimes when I want to have a treat, like if I'm at a restaurant or something, I would maybe order an appetizer. So sparkling apple juice, thinking, oh, well, this is the healthier option. So I wanted to see now how much sugar is actually in here. And if I drank this whole can, that would be 8 teaspoons of sugar, 8 teaspoons. So there's a lot of sugar in here, and there's no added sugar, okay? That's just naturally occurring sugar. But the thing is, I realized, if it's a meal and it's dragging out a little bit, I might have 2 of these. If I have 2 of these, that's 16 teaspoons of sugar right there. Bang! Happy apple, almost 11 teaspoons of sugar. Tonic water, 7.5 teaspoons of sugar. I've come outside to have my green juice and also to ground myself. No shoes. So because it's been a bit of a shit day, I just want to do everything I can to feel good again. And I'm here soaking up all the negative ions from the earth. Anyway, I have a confession. And I'm so ashamed, but I'm gonna tell you anyway because you're keeping me accountable. So today, in my irritability fueled by withdrawal of sugar and refined carbohydrates, I gave a complete stranger the finger. Oh my gosh!
I cannot believe I did this. I mean, it's so out of character for me. And it was just complete loss of control. It was like an impulse. No impulse control whatsoever. And immediately I'd done it, I regretted it, you know. But oh my gosh, I feel so ashamed by this. But there you have it. This is what happens when you stop eating sugar and refined carbohydrates. So yeah, that's my confession. Saturday morning and I feel amazing. What a difference a night's sleep can make, hey? I feel energetic, my head is clear, I'm in a good mood. Woohoo! So I'm feeling really, really good. So I woke up, I did my breathing exercises, held my breath for 2.5 minutes, which is okay. I mean, my record now is 3.5 minutes, which blows my mind. But anyway, today, 2.5 minutes. And then I had my bulletproof coffee, took a cold shower, which is never fun, but my God, it really wakes me up, so I love it. And now I'm about to go and do some exercise, going for the 8 a.m. CrossFit class. So I'm really, really stoked for that. And yeah, it's gonna be a great day. I'm determined. Finished the workout. That was very tough. Long workout. There's so many times there where I just wanted to quit, but I just kind of thought to myself, Kim, this translates into everyday life. You do not quit. When it gets tough, what do? You keep going. So that's what I did. And obviously, afterwards then, it feels like such an achievement. So, great start to the day.
Okay, so it turns out that I'm still a bitch. Yep. So the day started amazing, but that irritability has come back. And it's almost to the point where I cannot stand being around myself. I want to escape from myself. It's ridiculous. So it's been really tough. And it's not all the time. It kind of comes in waves, you know. My husband, he's stuck in Maputo because of COVID. And so I'm talking to him on the phone. I'm getting irritated with him, you know. I had to call back and apologize. And I had to do that twice today. So this is bad, hey? But what this is showing me is how necessary what I am doing is. So I'm just gonna soldier on, you know, because I know that this is what I need to do. So I'm sitting here at the moment reading some books. I got Sugar Blues, Sugar Crush, Lick the Sugar Habit. I've read them before, but I'm just sitting taking notes now, just to remind myself of everything, how bad sugar is. One thing that probably didn't help today was that I didn't eat a proper lunch. And I know I should have definitely. It was just I needed to drop the kids, and then I had a meeting straight afterwards. So I ended up eating 2 large samosas, and then I finished this. This is about 1.5 liters of green juice. So that was my lunch. But because of that, I'm gonna have a very early dinner. I'm gonna have quinoa and vegetables, which I'm looking forward to. But on some level, I just kind of want to get through this phase with this irritability and kind of come out the other side. And I'm just wondering to myself, how long is it gonna take, you know? We'll see.
So what I am quickly realizing is that we are all probably eating a lot more sugar than we think, because it is also hidden in so many foods. And just to give you an example of this, I went to the supermarket today and I looked at the entire bread section. And every single loaf of bread where there was nutritional information on the label contained sugar. And that was quite shocking for me, I must admit. So how much sugar are we actually eating? Well, I don't think there are any stats, at least not published stats that I'm aware of for Zambia. But if we look at, for instance, America, 100 years ago, we were eating about 8 kilos of sugar per year, 8 kilos. And now, the latest figures that I saw, we are eating more than 68 kilos per person per year. Now that is massive.
As I mentioned earlier, one of the things that really surprised me was the bread. All the bread in the supermarket that had ingredients on it had sugar in it. And this is super brown bread. It's got sugar. So for this loaf, a serving size is 2 pieces of bread, and that contains about 3 grams of sugar. So that is just under a teaspoon of sugar. Now let's be clear here. This is not the carbohydrate of the wheat, okay, which is refined and will break down into sugar super quick. This is added sugar that we're talking about. So 2 slices of bread, added sugar is almost 1 teaspoon. So it's 6 o'clock in the evening. I'm home alone. Woohoo! I've had a great dinner. I had 2 big bowlfuls of quinoa and vegetables, so I'm certainly not hungry, but I'm craving chocolate. And it's quite bad. So what have I done? I have taken almond butter and mixed it with some cacao powder, and I'm eating that now. No sweetener, so it's not really sweet at all, but it seems to be doing the trick. So yeah. This is what I'm up to. Oh my gosh, I hope this passes quickly.